A rare and tragic death. A 21-year-old dies of rabies after a chance encounter with a bat.
This is a terrible virus. It's fatal about 100% of the time once it reaches the brain.
What health officials want you to know.
Also tonight, a man accused of helping smuggle nearly 1,000 migrants across the border is back in court. How police say they managed to walk into BC undetected in plain sight.
And the international honor for a Chilliwack woman.
I don't feel worthy, I guess is what it is.
Her effort to save a man in a wheelchair from being hit by a train, and the emotional and physical wounds left behind.
Taylor Manning is a Canadian champion barrel racer, a teenage sensation from Alberta, competing at her second Cloverdale Rodeo.
I just want to have a smooth, fast run.
On a horse before she could walk, the rodeo has always been a family affair for the Mannings. Her dad was a former bull riding champion.
Some weeks we go to Manitoba, and then back to BC, and then Saskatchewan, and then Alberta. So it's a lot of traveling.
Her connection to her horses is obvious. Best friends, she calls them.
Merlin's pretty bossy. Malak just runs away.
Her race routine is simple. She tends to her horses in the stable and then relaxes in what she calls her mobile mini house.
We use it every week in the summer. We take it everywhere to the rodeos.
If you watched in the video,
What can the crowd expect today?
It kind of depends. I just am going to go try out and try my hardest, and hopefully it all goes well.
I wake up in the morning.
Emmett's back in the Lego 2 movie, the second part.
I brought you coffee.
Bringing his eternal optimism to a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Created brick by brick in this Vancouver studio.
These are always the really fun parts.
From exploding asteroids to battles in the sand. Each scene made of 100% animated Lego blocks. And while the process is technical,
we like to think that that our animators are the actors.
That beat is pretty fresh.
Anywhere from the characters' emotions to their arm movements to any of their action, all that's done here with our animators.
Uh-oh.
Animal Logic is not the only digital studio calling Vancouver home. Over 60 studios make up the industry here, creating the world's largest cluster of domestic and foreign-owned studios.
Plus, a close call for a 4-year-old boy.
He came flying down the stairs. I mean, screaming at the top of his lungs, it's on fire.
How his tablet turned into this. Also, 2 deaths in Manitoba are being blamed on extreme heat. Those stories ahead on CTV News.
Whisking, chopping.
My eyes.
We got cracking to take up the challenge, eating for just $5 a day.
It has saved us quite a bit of money over the years.
Lucy Holland knows, the mother of 2, is behind this $5 foodie website. The average Canadian spends about $500 a month on groceries. Armed with recipes and a list, we set out to cut that in half.
Need a couple oranges.
Shopping for deals at our local superstore. Laid it all out and got to work.
Okay, let's get started.
Planning is key. These dishes will go a long way.
Seasoning the bird.
Like chicken and yams. Serve 6.
Yeah, not bad. No, that's actually pretty good.
Total cost per serving, $2.91. And nothing goes to waste. The stock for soup.
There's plenty in there. That's more than 6 servings.
What started as a peaceful crowd with a noisy message suddenly overshadowed when a senior is shoved and tumbles to the ground. A closer look at the video shows the woman appears to push a member of the Prime Minister's security team. Both he and the Vancouver police officer in the yellow vest appear to shove back. She slams into a CTV camera, then falls and hits her head.
Egg-sized lump on the back of my head.
And 74-year-old Susan Stout of North Van tells us she's angry about another protester that police arrest and later release, and about the PM's pipeline pledge.
I would tell him that his kids are not going to have a future if he doesn't smarten up. And he's not going to bloody well win the next election.
Well, a green light for ride-hailing in BC.
I think we've waited too long.
Make it easier to get around.
Or keep companies like Uber and Lyft.
There is no evidence that Class 4 is unsafe.
Permanently parked.
Tomorrow on CTV News Vancouver.